incredible means a lot. I don't know whether it's the right word to use. Anyway, the grammarian is there and there will be a correction. So I was expecting someone to ask, what is my background? Apart from Toastmaster Lasantha, does anyone knows about this background? I don't think. And Toastmaster Lasantha, definitely, I think you can answer the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's electronics and telecommunication. I think I would say the electronic.
I'm asking the background.
Asking from the?
Asking the background, the virtual background.
Okay.
So wonderful.
The background. Okay, my gosh. I can see from you're from a, what do you call, you're from a waterfall.
Can you name the waterfall?
Maybe from Dungida.
Yes. This is from my hometown. So because you had a long session, I will just show you something to refresh your minds.
පිළිගන්න ඔයගොල්ලෝ සියලුම දෙනාව. ඉතින් අද දවසේ මම ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ ලංකාවේ බොහොම සුන්දර දියැලක් වන සුන්දර දුම්හිත කොමලිය නරඹන්න. ඇතැම් දිනවල අපිට දක්නට ලැබෙන ශාන්ත දුම්හිත කොමලිය නෙමෙයි අද දක්නට ලැබෙන්නේ. ඒකට හේතුව තමයි අද පරිසරයේ වෙනස් වීමත් එක්ක ඒ කියන්නේ මේ ප්‍රදේශයට අද අධික වර්ෂාවන් පතිත වෙනවා. ඉතින් වෙනදට බොහොම ශාන්තව පහළට කඩච්ච ලස්සනද කියලා. බලන්න අපි දැන් මේ නරඹන ස්ථානෙට දියැලේ වතුර එනවා බොහොම සුන්දර චමත්කාර.
All right. So that is one of the beautiful waterfalls in Sri Lanka, which is in my home district. And I thought of just refresh your minds with a beautiful scenery before we start our session. Now, I was requested to do something on pathways, but not for the senior Toastmasters. So what I find in the audience now, not the new Toastmasters. So I'm in a bit of a problem of what I can do right now. So is it okay if I just go through the basics again? Is it all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes. Yes, fine.
All right. Okay, so pathways is the only thing that we do have right now. So until the 30th of June, you had been talking about the all system or the legacy system, or there are so many things that we were discussing about ACG, ACS, ALS, etc. But nowadays, we will not be talking about those things. We will be talking only about the pathways. So what is exactly this pathway? What is the meaning of this pathway? What is the meaning of this pathway? Any idea? Pathway is the curriculum given by the Toastmasters International. Can someone justify that whether you are seeing the right screen?
Yes.
So you are screening the pathway learning experience slide. Am I right?
Yeah, right.
All right. Okay. Now, there are 5 core competencies that we will be learning in pathways. Now, if you think about the pathways, this was not came all of a sudden. And from all of the research, review, analysis, and feedback, the pathway teams of the Toastmasters International identified these 5 core competencies. Actually, if I go through them very quickly, as all of you know, it is about the public speaking, the interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, leading and managing, and building confidence. So these are the 5 competencies that we will get in Toastmasters. And what is the most important thing out of this is the building confidence. And remember, building confidence cannot be taught. Through the self-reflection and the evaluation, you learn to acknowledge the flaws and embrace the capacity for self-improvement. So probably by learning how to set goals and meet them, you gain confidence in your own knowledge, skills, and abilities. So the building confidence, the last stage, cannot be taught. Now, when you talk about the pathways learning, there are 11 paths available, starting from the presentation mastery, going down to the last one, visionary communication. So each path is designed to help you achieve the last competency, which cannot be taught, as I said before, building confidence. And if you take the most common path, it's the presentation mastery. So it solely focuses on the public speaking skills and building confidence in abilities. And because most of us consider public speaking as an important component above all the other 10 parts. So that is why majority of you have selected presentation mastery. And when you are completing a path, you will be doing a minimum of 15 prepared speeches. But remember, the pathway projects are not only speeches. There's much more involved in that. And if I just brief through one or two paths now, if you take the effective coaching path will help you to build your skills as a positive communicator, leader, and a coach. And if you think about the innovative planning, that helps you to build your skills as a public speaker, leader, and project manager. If you think about the leadership development pathway, that helps you to build your skills as an effective communicator and a leader. And the motivational strategies helps you to build your skills as a powerful and effective communicator. And the persuasive influence, that will help you to build the skills as an innovative communicator and a leader. And so on. If you go to the engaging humor, the recent addition to the 10 pathways that we had earlier, that will help you to build your skills as a humorous and engaging public speaker. And the projects on this path mainly focus on understanding your sense of humor and how that sense of humor translates to engage the audience. And in each path, there are many levels, from level 1 to level 5. So as we all know, the level 1 is all about mastering the fundamentals. And in level 2, you will learn your style of communication, your style of leadership and mentoring. And in the level 3, you will increase your knowledge. And in level 4, you will build your skills. And finally, you will demonstrate your expertise. So if you think about the level 1 of the pathway, and here you will develop or enhance your understanding of the fundamentals needed to be a successful public speaker and evaluator. You will focus on the speech writing and basic speech delivery, and also on receiving and applying feedback, while at the last stage, giving feedback to the others. So there are 3 projects: icebreaker, evaluation and feedback, and researching and presenting. As most of you know, the second project, evaluation and feedback, consists of 2 speeches and 1 speech evaluation. So that is why I said at the very beginning, the projects are not just only speeches. So if you go to level 2, in the level 2, what you do is you will learn your style. It will consist of the projects for understanding your leadership style, understanding your communication style, connect with the audience, managing time, active listening, effective body language, cross-cultural understanding. And in level 3, you will increase your knowledge. And you have the elective projects coming in from level 3, in addition to the compulsory or the mandatory projects. So in level 4, you will build your skills. And again, you have mandatory plus elective. And in level 5, you will demonstrate your expertise. There's a compulsory project called Reflect on Your Path, which will be the last speech of your pathway. And in addition, you'll have to select and complete mandatory plus elective projects. Now, what are the benefits that you get in pathways? Number one is that all the pathway projects and the pathways are self-paced, tailored to suit your requirements. So it is tailored to help members to meet your personal and professional goals. So members can also move through their paths at their own rate. There is no time limit. There's no restriction for you to have, let's say, speeches or projects completed in every week. You can do a project this month, you can do a project in another 2 months' time, it doesn't matter. So this is a self-paced learning. And then it customizes the member experience to your needs, whether it be public speaking or can be interpersonal communication, management of strategic leadership, it doesn't matter. It customizes to your basic requirements and the needs. And it's flexible. The paths are flexible. And what do you mean by flexible? You are the one who will decide at which rate you need to go. You are the one who will be selecting what electives that you are going to complete. So it's flexible, it's not rigid. And also you have an access to a wide variety of materials, resources in the TI itself, and also some expanded resources as well. And all these are real world, having the real world applicability. So this, together with the chance of giving and getting the effective feedback, which are very meaningful, will definitely help you to grow in Toastmasters. Now moving on. I don't think you need to know the ways of getting the path to DTM. I mean, I don't want to touch it. All right. If you have new members here, the first thing that you do is you need to log into the Toastmasters website. So what you do is you give your email address and you log in, and then you will have your profile in the Toastmasters. And when you are, your name will be appeared here. Right. Now, choosing a path is a problem that many of the Toastmasters are facing, for the simple reason that they are not properly guided or they are not properly mentored. You need to select the, okay, you go to the pathways. From the pathways, you go to choose a path, and I will demonstrate it with my screen right now. Also, I am in my pathways profile. You go to pathways and you go to choose a path. When you click on that, you will be directed to a screen in which you can continue to path selection. You can select the path for another member, and I am going to concentrate on continue to path selection. You click on this and you will be directed to another screen, and you have to select your language. Of course, we need to select the language English here. And when you go down, we will have to decide how to access our materials. If you want, we can pay $25 extra and we can get the printed material. And I know in Bangladesh, we are not going to do. And we are going to select the digital resources. So once you select digital resources, then we have to think about how are we going to select our path. So we can view all the paths and straight away we can select it. And the default is being the presentation master because that is the most popular one. Or else you can take an assessment. So when you have a new member, please guide the member on taking the online assessment and select the path necessary and applicable to that particular member in the right way. So encourage them to take the assessment and you continue. And then again, you select the language and you start. When you start, they will ask you to select 3 topics out of these things that the particular member will have the interest. For example, say, I will select coaching, I will select time management, and I will select negotiation. So when you select these 3, the next button is enabled and you go there. And then which of the following topics is most related to the personal and professional goals that brought you to Toastmasters. From here onwards, I recommend you not to push the new members through answering these questions, especially in the presence of a Toastmaster. And we have to give them time to think and answer these questions in the right way. Sometimes, let's say the particular member is lacking a certain skill that is being tested in the question, but he might be reluctant to give the right answer in front of another person. You have to keep that in your mind when you guide the members to go through the questionnaire, to let them answer the questions themselves without we having a look on what they are supposed to do. Only the guidance we can do, right? So we go on doing this, and I don't have to explain the whole thing. At the end, the system will propose you to select, let's say, 2 or 3 recommendations. So out of the recommendations that the TI will suggest you, if you want, you can select one of those 3. And if you are, let's say, knowledgeable enough to select your required pathway, it is not necessary to select one from the recommendations. You can choose your one directly. There's no harm that you can do, right? So that is why I advise you, I suggest you to appoint a mentor for a new member from the stage of enrolling or registering with the TI website and selecting the path. And that is very important. And then you need to guide the new members about how to complete a project, how to go through the training details given by the Toastmasters, how to assess your skills before the project, and to complete the videos that are coming on the pop-up screen, to read each and every detail that they will give, and then print and download the worksheets, the evaluation sheet, and more importantly, the project manual. On the system, it does not say project manual, it says print your project. So when you select print your project, you will be having the manual opened in a separate browser in the PDF form. Make sure you download that manual too. Now, whenever I am invited to evaluate a pathway project by any Toastmaster, the first question that I ask him is, have you seen the manual? And the most of them have not seen the manual. So if you do not see the manuals, how do you do the project? So what they do is they just write a speech for 7 minutes. They go to the meeting and they do the speech. The evaluator evaluates the speech from the speech parameters and the speech logic. And the evaluators do not touch about the project objectives. And that is 101% wrong. And I would say, from my experience, nearly 60% of the Toastmasters are not doing that in the right way. So I advise the Toastmasters who are in pathways to help the others to do that in the right way. I know in CMA, the current Toastmasters knows the procedure and they are doing it. And there are other Toastmasters from this audience, of course, most of you are doing it right. I would say 100% of you are doing it right. I'm talking on general, so don't take it otherwise. So whenever you find a new member, new Toastmaster, or if someone is doing that in the incorrect way, please guide them, please help them do that in the right way. Do you know that playing the role of the table topic master can be considered as a pathway project? Can you raise your hands if you know it? Can you raise your hands if someone has done it? Yes, Toastmaster Ratna knows it. So playing the Toastmaster role is a project which can be taken for active listening. But it is not just playing the table topic master role. It has to be evaluated by a Toastmaster, a member. It has to be planned in advance. How you perform the table topic master role, how you listen to each and every speech, how you give your feedback before you invite the next table topic speaker about how the speaker has performed in the table topic. That is on active listening. So from project to project, it differs. There are projects which will take 6 months to complete. And I have seen Toastmasters for a project that required a lengthy period like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months, they just go and do a speech without doing the project. By doing that, no one is going to learn. If you are the evaluator, please encourage them to go in the right way and do the projects in the right way. So why we have to do that in the right way is simply because of the competencies that we are going to acquire by doing these things right. So we are not here as Toastmasters to get the, let's say the titles DTM or whatever, just to say, okay, I have completed 3 levels, 4 levels, 5 levels, 6 levels. No. Why you are here is for you to improve, to improve your skills, to improve your knowledge, to improve you as a human being. So if it is your objective, why should you go behind titles, projects, positions, and speeches? You need to grow yourself by acquiring the competencies. How many competencies that you can acquire in pathways? Can anyone answer? How many competencies you can acquire very quickly, if you can, in the chat box, so you can unmute and tell me? I got the answer as 5 from one. Very quickly, because it's very late. Anyone who can tell how many competencies you can acquire, you can learn, you can get by being in Toastmasters, by following the pathways? It is unbelievable. 302. So do you think about any MBA or any paid training program anywhere in the world that will give you 302 competencies? Even if you complete, let's say, an MBA, you will get about 5 or 10 competencies maximum. But I know how many of you completed level 1. I will say all of you. And if I ask you the question, how many competencies that you acquire by completing the level 1, don't give me the answer. I believe that, I may be wrong, I believe that it's very difficult for you to give the answer in the right way. But just for your knowledge, I will just share this one. If you, once you complete level 1, there are 16 competencies that you can acquire. But remember, if you are on the presentation mastery, if you complete level 1, you are not supposed to acquire all these things. I'm talking in general about all the pathways, right? If you complete level 2, you will acquire 35 competencies. If you complete level 3, you will acquire 91 competencies. So level 3 is the most important level in pathways. So make sure you use a lot of time on doing the level 3 projects in the right way. And if you complete level 4, you are supposed to acquire 69 competencies, level 5, 65 competencies, and on the other things, 26 competencies. So when you add all this together, you will be acquiring 302 competencies. So we cannot miss this opportunity. You cannot miss this opportunity. And these competencies will be acquired only if, no other ways, only if you do the project in the right way. When you get your project manual, in one particular page, it will show you the competencies that you will be acquiring by completing that pathway. So make sure that you go in the right way, you acquire those competencies in completing your project. So do not tend or do not advise or do not help any Toastmaster to go and just do a speech. So as a Toastmaster, I'm totally against that. Even though I don't have any authority or any power for us Toastmasters to say, please repeat the project. But if I'm the evaluator, if the project objectives are not met, after the meeting, I will talk to the Toastmaster who gave the speech and I will request him, please do the project again. By that way only, as the evaluator, I can help that member to learn something, to acquire something. And if you say, well done, we all say, okay, wonderful speech, fantastic, well done, bro, well done, bye. So these are the things that we say. But by saying these things, by giving this appreciation, we are not helping the Toastmaster member to grow. You have to give the right appreciation at the right time. At the same time, you have to give the right recommendations for the member to improve. So my advice, please make sure you do not give any fake appreciations to please someone. You try your best to give the constructive feedback, right recommendations for the member to grow. So that is all from my end. And I know I have taken much longer time than allocated. I don't get this chance more often nowadays because I am busy. So I consume the given chance for the best of ability to convey my message. I hope you got something. And it's over to you, President Toastmasters.
Thank you, DTM HB Dayaratne, for your thoughtful session. I think I have refreshed my button and again starting from the beginning. So with that, our session for the whole day has been finished. So I would like to hand over the control back to our President, Toastmasters here. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. And the education session, what was conducted by our Toastmaster HB Dayaratne. I think you have taken 10 minutes much than you have been allocated, but you have given a big scenario to the new Toastmaster. Being a Toastmaster, I could not get this opportunity to learn from you how to start this pathway and what should be quality maintained while you're going through the pathway. Especially thanks to you, you have given your best lot of time